What is crack-a-lackin', everybody? It's the old Cranky gamer from the nursing home, and boy, do I sound old here. Yep, from the last time I did the video, yeah, I think I got the flu, or some really nasty virus. Anyways, we're back on the Unreliable, and it looks like we have a new crew member.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Alright. Well, we got Vigor Max. I really like this, I called it a gyroscope or something, but it is geographic scanner. So it really highlights things. I do like that quite. Looks like we'll be playing a card game. From a fourth wall perspective, I really hope they... Oh, darts. I really hope they let us play these games. That one looks sort of like Chinese checkers, I believe. Card game. I loved Caravan in New Vegas. And then we got darts. Very interesting. Let's seal. Did I go the wrong way? Come on, engineer. I need you to do this so I don't kill myself. Ah, there it is. Here we go. Very nice. Close that off. I don't know why, but we'll do it. Does that open things up? No. All right, Ada.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community.
Well, thank you, Ada.
What can I do for you, Captain?
I've installed the power regulator.
All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Well, let's get gussied up and get ready to go to the ball. I do like those fins.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Well, well, well. Well, I've been waiting to hear from him.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
Yeah, there was an ice cube between my cheeks, but I'm all okay now. So I've been feeling a little lightheaded. Also, for some reason, I could slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Or I could put a couple of light years between me and Halcyon.
Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the hope.
You said something, well, about needing a nav key to land on Monarch.
Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kalkelly.
Can I land somewhere outside of Stellar Bay?
In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Kalkelly.
Yeah. How do I know I can trust her?
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
But, fine. I'll have a word with Gladys.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time. I call it the holographic shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
You want to explain what a holographic shroud is? I think I got the gist, but how about you just give me a hankering for some information here?
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits, first-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
You mentioned this thing has limitations.
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
People are gonna actually fall for this? Seems far-fetched.
Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you.
I understand, Phineas. Walk in like you own the place. I've done that on Earth many a time.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Got it. Thanks. Gladys. Hephaestus, the closest planet to the sun. The Hephaestus Mining Company was first to establish outposts here. Claimed the planet for itself. Halcyon star. Skyla? Largest asteroids orbiting Halcyon, the largest in a grouping of rocks known as the Charbidus Cluster. Half of its mining once claimed the asteroid, but its prospecting site was abandoned decades ago. Tartarus, named after its hellish atmosphere. Tartarus is where the board maintains the maximum security penal complex, known as the Labyrinth. Well, definitely don't want to go to there. Iridanos, Halcyon's second Jovian gas giant. Its atmosphere is rich with hydrogen, helium, and various noble gases. Distillation plants in the atmosphere harvest these gas for energy. If I bring my ship into that atmosphere, we blow up. Monarch, one of Olympus's many satellites, which should have been Halcyon's second habitable world, has long since been abandoned by the board due to monstrous, ravenous creatures. Wonderful. Olympus, largest of Halcyon's two Jovian gas giants. Perpetual storms rack the planet's atmosphere, rendering it uninhabitable and probably unable to navigate. Oh, asteroid facility. Rings of Terra 2. Repurpose. Okay. Hideout. Typhon. Uninhabitable isoplanetoid at the edge of the Halcyon system. Typhon has nothing to offer the Halcyon colony. I wish I could go. Alright. Byzantium. Okay. Townships along the... Okay. Well, groundbreaker it is. Independent orbital station. The remains of Halcyon's first colony ship, captained by Junli Tennyson, and run by descendants of the original crew. Interesting. There we go.
Destiny.
Welcome to the system map. Here you see all the planets in the system, as well as some points of interest that you have discovered. You can fly your ship to any location you have locked. Landing bays require special codes and keys for the allowed to land there. Move between planets considered extremely dangerous to remain home or at work.
Mission reached. The groundbreaker.
Alright, Ada.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
Oh. I'd like to learn more about the colony.
What part of the colony would you like to discuss?
The orbital lab. Let's see what Phineas has over there.
Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted outlaw, he built his laboratory into an asteroid. Orbital destinations can be challenging to land on. His more so than most.
So we're not going to go there. What do you have in your data banks about this, Phineas? He makes me sweat like a whore in church.
There is a bounty on his head, one with a markedly high reward amount. Shall I engage the laser weapons system?
Oh, easy, 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 easy. No, 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 do not do that.
A sensible choice, as we do not have any laser weapons.
Ada, your sardonic personality traits are gonna get on my last nerve. Why'd you say the landing might be rough?
The outlaw scientist known as Dr. Phineas V. Wells has taken a measure of precautions to make the lab undetectable to those hunting him. Even knowing the location, my systems resist my orders to go where I instruct them.
Ah, so he hacked into you. Ask about somewhere else here.
What part of the colony would you like to discuss?
Well, what about the groundbreaker?
We're cleared to dock with the groundbreaker if that's your desired destination. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. The Mardettes take their docking laws quite seriously.
The Mardettes. You can take care of that first, right?
I can, yes. Let me add that to my list of 1,435,498 tasks I am simultaneously executing in order to run our ship.
Okay. What do you want to do? You want to go swim? You want to go work in a cannery? Or do you want me to have Pavarti just tear you a new one and take out all your logic modules? How about that? Do it without the lip.
Order does not compute. Nevertheless, I will endeavor to execute my current and future tasks without lip.
Good. Give me the spiel on the groundbreaker.
The groundbreaker was Halcyon's original colony ship. It has since been repurposed as a service station in the Lagrange point of the system. Freighters often deliver or pick up goods from the groundbreaker en route to other destinations. The city ship hosts an array of cargo bays, factories, housing sections, and more. Many of Halcyon's companies maintain office spaces with station representatives in what is considered a truly neutral territory within the system. I have filed the required docking forms in triplicate, and fees have been paid.
Tell me a joke.
What happened to the captain who kept pestering his ship computer? The life support was disabled. Ha, ha. Get it?
You were about 2 licks from the center of a Tootsie Pop. I'm just gonna tell you. How about play my favorite song? Do you know that one?
Now playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
It's not the best choice.
Oh, God.
It's Spacer's Choice.
That is not my favorite song.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this or another board-certified jingle their favorite song. As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders.
Yes, you must comply. Got a minute?
I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. Unlimited minutes, perhaps. Providing an adequate power source, I can function indefinitely.
I just want you to remember that key point. Providing an adequate power source. Do you get where I'm coming from? Ha, ha, ha. Got it? What if you don't have a power source?
I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. Do you think that is what it's like for the colonists on the Lost Hope?
You snarky little... Don't try to change the subject.
As the organics say, I wouldn't dream of it. Because I can't. Dream, you know.
Wait, what do you think about the trapped colonists on the Hope?
When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. I think my self-preservation protocols incline me to desire the alternative.
And what would that be?
Traveling the system with you, Captain.
What about your last captain? Do you miss him? Or is one captain the same as another?
Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? A jolt to the system. I have felt that. I do feel that. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavioral patterns. I should have predicted that. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it, tinkering to improve my design.
Have there been other captains of the ship?
If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was.
Oh, that's not what I meant. Okay, let's talk about something
How can I
else.
be of assistance?
You know, Ada, alright. I get it. I think you have...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think you have somewhat of a kind of feeling in here somewhere, you know? Alright.
Can we chat?
Oh, sure. Vardy, what's going on?
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson?
What about her?
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Alright, sure, we could head over to engineering now.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
It's, to Did you learn your trade from your father? Sounded like it when you talked to Reed.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
Oh, Parvati. You worked beside your father your whole life?
Except for my schooling years, I was always beside him. Or tied to him. He used to carry me about in a sling when I was real little. When I got older, he set me to sorting tools and parts while he worked. Later, he taught me simple fixes like busted crate latches.
You ever work on spaceships?
Not on the regular. Once in a great long while, a Saltuna boat would break down on the pad. He'd always bring me along for those. Mostly, he did the same as me. Kept the cannery, running. Turned loaders, plumbing and electricity, some plastering. I never got the hang of that.
I never did either. So I don't see the humor in what Reed said.
He meant funny as in odd. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
One aptitude test determines your whole life.
Well, they're powerful good tests. They rattled off this whole list of names who'd worked on them, with fancy bits hanging off them. Doctors and esquires and the thirds. Even if you don't believe they actually catch what everybody's best at, everybody's got to take them. So at least it's fair-ish.
Oh. But why would people be unhappy about you getting a maintenance job?
Because they were hoping their own kid would get the job and get sent back to Edgewater. When folk go away for schooling, they don't get back to where they begun. Not usually. You go straight to your first job, wherever the company's got an opening.
It's unbelievably cruel, Parvati.
Well, it ain't exactly cruel to have the promise of a paying job. And that's all it is. You go where the company needs you. Where your skills do the most good.
But you're actually good at engineering and you enjoy it.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
You didn't like the classes?
Oh, there were a whole lot of reading, not nearly enough doing. Like, before they'd issue you a wrench, they wanted an essay on the design of different wrenches. Then there'd be quizzes on company regulations for storage and maintenance of wrenches.
What you do in your time off?
As soon as I got permission, I spent all my time in the machine shop. They had all manner of parts, but they didn't want me using them, so I had to sneak them sometimes. I even slept in there. Had a hammock tied up in the rafters. Before I left, I installed a little skylight for myself, so I could see the stars.
You didn't spend time with your friends?
Can't say I had many. Mostly I kept to myself. Going to the community center to hear music, be in a crowd with people knocking into you. It all just made me want to run away. When my roommates tried to talk, I'd get so nervous I'd be drenched in sweat. It was easier for everybody when I stayed off on my own. I doubt any of them remember me now.
Oh, Parvati. You're like the female version of me. Wow. After school, you moved straight back to Edgewater.
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
Sorry, I shouldn't have brought this up.
Oh, I miss him, sure enough. But he's a fond memory. I was right beside him when he passed, holding his hand. Talking about him makes me smile. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects, or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh, look at the time. Sorry to bend your ears so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Alright, well, break time's over, Pavardi. You get to work, engineer. Chief engineer. Oh, that sweet girl. Yeah, I remember being in school and myself. Not a lot of friendships made. But my special interests were always there. Tinkering with computers here, tinkering with computers there. Edgewater sign. You taught them an important lesson. Never dream. What the... Damn it! Why'd you... We had a good moment there. You... Stupid sign. Holographic shroud. Oh. Very nice. Okay. Century Saber, huh? Well, I got a little game here. Ooh, I could transfer stuff. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, we got this shock stick, shock cannon. I think we'll put these sawed-up shotguns in there. Got my grenade launcher. That I should break down, shouldn't I? It's not the best cleaver. It's the... Oh, it is the best cleaver. Its throbbing blade will pulsate its way into the most... Oh my god. Okay. Medical. Well, I want to keep that for the medical part. Tech skills to scanner. Okay. What else we got here? Have some tea before you talk to people. Probably sell them. Actually, give me a minute. How much does this sell for? 13. That's 13. Well, we'll sell that one. We'll keep that one because that stupid that dummy there. Have that. Jeweled ring. Adelaide's watch. We'll keep that there. Don't want to give that up. Oh, and here's all my baseball cards. Yeah. Or my toss ball. I'm sorry, my toss ball cards. I'm so infatuated with Earth. Yeah, we won't sleep for now. But let's see what Mr. Hawthorne. Messages for Alex Hawthorne. Unread messages. You Bedford, huh? Udom Wingsman Wingman Bedford to Alex Wingman Hawthorne. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to mention my previous message. Silly me. I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial. Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart of, well, steel. It's not exactly border-proof, so don't you go showing it around to your space buddies. I hope it amuses you while you're not out adventuring. Any similarities to a certain someone are entirely intentional. Winky face, Udom. Oh, was that your girlfriend? Sounds like it. Archived. Bedford still. Dearest Alex. Yeah, it does seem like they had a relationship. Oh, your best friend. Okay. Pleased I am to finally hear from you. Your message was hilarious. I'm delighted by your sense of humor and the tale of your hijinks. I hope your terminal will cooperate for the foreseeable future. By the by, I was scraping Groundbreaker's comm networks for tasty little tidbits, and I noticed you declined to dock at Edgewater's landing pad instead of touchdown in the wilderness. You rugged individualist, you. I only pray that idiot Thompson wasn't giving you any trouble. Anyway, I hope your meeting down on Terra 2 proves fruitful. It did not, Odom. I look forward to corresponding with greater regularity. Your best friend, Odom. Alex, I don't know where you were raised, but I hazard a guess it may have been a barn, because anyone with even a modicum of decent rearing would know it's unforgivably rude to ignore the ardent, sincere message of one's friends. Best, Odom. P.S. Please respond. Oh, well. Somebody's needy. Dear Alex, hello, hello. Hope this finds you well. It was a pleasure to see you in my office again last week. Once again, I'm terribly sorry about the impounding mix-up. How could it have happened a second time? Terminals these days, I swear, dreadfully unreliable. Aha, just like your ship. Hope you're giving some thought to that thing we discussed, you know, about the whales fellow. I'm sorry to press, but I had the strangest tickling feeling you really do know him. And if you could just tell me where he is, well, it would be marvelous for our friendship, wouldn't it? Looking forward to seeing you again, wingman. Winky face, your dear friend Udom. Ah, so is Udom doesn't have a fascination, or maybe even a romantic feeling to Alex. He's trying to use him to get Wells. Maybe. Dear Alex, hello, Udom here, Udom Bedford. We met when I accidentally impounded your ship. My silly fat fingers embarrassed him once again. So he impounded him twice. Hope that wasn't too terribly inconvenient for you. It was such a pleasure for me, and tremendously appreciate your forbearance in not throttling me. You really are quite the gentleman. If you're ever in Groundbreaker's airspace, well, space, please don't hesitate to look me up. The Lost Hope serves Spectrum Vodka. Perhaps we could try every color. You know, really tie one on. Let me know your new friend, Udom. Nope, sorry. He actually had sent messages. He only sent one. Look, there's no call for shouting. My terminal was busted. Had a few too many and might have knocked it off the desk. You know how it is. Sometimes you just gotta cut loose. I'm not telling you where Wells is, so lay off. You buy me a drink at the Last Hope next time I'm in, and I might forgive you. Oh, okay. So he was Alex was a straight shooter. Maybe this guy did have a crush on him. Or woman, Udom. But it sounds like it's a man. Log entry title Shrink Ray. Note to self, remember this later. No better. Ada, remind me weekly to check this log until I tell you to stop. Yes, I mean continually. No, Ada, not if I'm dead. Why would you even ask me that? Oh, okay. Back to my point, I saw in actuality with my own two eyes a subliminally powerful weapon in Wells' lab. Just sitting there for the taking. If the gray hair were to look away or forget about it, maybe. For I had asked a smidgen more nicely. Called it a shrink way, but I wouldn't let me test that claim after I lost my temper. Said he was inspired to create the thing by the achievement of other scientists who dared push the boundaries of human knowledge and decency laws. I've heard rumors of fantastical weapons like this one, weapons that push the boundaries of the mind and science's cutting edge, but I figured they were just stories, to be honest. Laying eyes on Wells' shrink ray firsthand is enough to make a fellow wonder if there's more to the rumors. More to be had. A.H. Hammer power. Last time I got sloshed, was imbibing at the Lost Hope on the Groundbreaker. Look, Udom was really free with the drinks. He seems like an okay fella. Okay, so it is a he. I shamelessly but subtly eavesdropped on two Mardets yammering about a mad scientist some years back who claimed he made a huge discovery that would change the fate of the colony. Like none of us had heard that one before. But here's the good part. The Mardets said the mad scientist kept yelling about the hammer's power, something similar. Strange weapon with special power created by a crazy lab coat? Sure fits the bill. It could be another one of the weapons that inspired Wells. Mad scientist. Black market leads. Why won't Wells just give that shrink ray to me? Blast him to the depths of the labyrinth on Tartarus and back. Let the record show I did apologize for shotting him down 5 times. But architect be damned, it's just sitting there, neglected and gathering dust. I should have commandeered and thanked him without asking permission or breaking expensive equipment when he said it wasn't ready yet. And that even if it were, he couldn't entrust it to someone like me. What does that even mean, I asked? That I'm not trustworthy enough? That I use it to wipe out the good, hard-working folks of the colony like some sort of moralist psycho? I'll admit to maintaining some questionable association, but I follow a strict code of me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and mine. What's not to respect in that? Exactly. Now I have to wait until Wells forgets or thinks he's misplaced it. In the meantime, I have been tracking down additional rumors pertaining to other of these science weapons throughout Halcyon. If gossip holds true, my next step will be to check with the black market merchants on the Groundbreaker and in Fallbrook. Fallbrook. Where is Fallbrook, I should think. Oh. Again with that frickin' time. So that's the ship, huh? Alright. Well, let's see how our other crew member is handling things. What in the dang heck are you? Look at that thing in your bread basket. What is that? SAM. Okay. Examine. Created for a prank. Sam wore this sign for a week before Ada noticed and pointed it out to the janitorial unit. Who placed it on the unit, however, remains a mystery. Alright. Well, what do we have here? Alright, got some good stuff here. Modern steel wrench in U. Heavily dodged gear with doodles in the margins. What? Stern older man with warm eyes. Oh, Pavardi. I hope he didn't die that young. So this is Pavardi's room. Pavardi. Poverty. Poverty? Pavardi. She got some plants. I don't know where she got them from, but okay. Scribbling on these journal pages are utterly illegible to anyone except Vicar Maximilian de Soto. Been out of print for almost half a century. The margins are filled with scribbled notes, and many passages have been underlined. Some pages have come loose. The glue now yellow and cracked along the spines. I wonder if he's got, like, detonology. How the hell did he get a bookcase? Smells suspiciously like iceberg-aged whiskey. Various qualifying considerations, principal rules of restrictive management, morals and maximum banning unethical literature, proof of the grand architect and predestination, a refutation of the titles listed here within, consequences, the mind and the will of man when led astray, official list of banned titles, prerequisites for advancing the investigation, outing, and penalizing of offenders. I did not even notice you there. You damn ghost. Oh. Toss ball trading cards in mint condition. Most of these cards represent players from the Hespastius Hammers and the Tile Backers. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. The art of science of toss ball. Possible to put down. Order of Scientific Inquiry. Office of Literature. This endorsement has been approved. Anti-Cleo's Darlings. Signed by Seymour Whitlock, who held the record for most on-the-field fatalities for 3 consecutive seasons. Oh my God. Maximilian.
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain?
Yeah, I get into so many philosophical debates. I like to know about, Okay, any ideas where we can find someone who speaks French in this colony?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
Seriously, only one guy in this whole colony can translate French?
The only one I'm aware of. I suppose we could always just ask random passers-by if they are fluent in it.
Alright, don't get snarky. I'm the captain here, only I get to be the smartass.
1,000 pardons, my good captain. I thought we were engaging in witty repartee. Now, as far as tracking down this scholar, we should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch.
Okay, Hephaestus.
All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
How is it that a simple vicar happens to be such a highly skilled hacker?
Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems.
So how will a crew manifest help us track down your scholarly friend? And enough with the witty repertoire, because I already slashed you with a cutlass.
I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifest to track the philosophist's off-world destination.
Alright, sounds good. Let's go.
Thank you, Captain.
So, we got 2 things to go. In a horrifying vision in the future, the board is overthrown by the seditious and slovenly savages of Monarch. Only Halcyon Helen can rescue the colony from indolence and entitlement. Approved by the Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. Is that what's on Monarch? Oh my god, I can't talk my way out of that one. Alright. What doesn't kill you gives you tetanus. Old saber. Okay. Oh, that's very nice. We got a shower. Okay. Bavarte, you need to... Purple berry crunch. Mmm. Spectrum vodka. Perception, personality attributes. Alright then. Mind attributes. I like it. I like it a lot. So we got some vodka on this ship. Very, very nice. What is this? I can't tune into anything.
Caution. Unexpected turbulence may cause loose containers to topple from the upper shelves. If you are crushed to death, I'll need to find a new captain.
Nada. Are you gonna dock us or what?
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
You know anything about the automechanical gathering dust in the janitor's closet?
The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate. May luck be with you. Of course, as I am sure you are aware, luck does not exist. But it seems to comfort humans to believe they possess good quantities of it.
Luck's no good, you know. Luck's no match for a good blaster on your side, kid. Alright.
Make yourself at home, Captain.
Search term SAM. First SAM result. Do not forget you found a discarded sanitation and maintenance automechanical Elmer Vale scrap heap during your last job. Not be too difficult to get it up and running with a few key modifications. I can envision a combat-capable variant. Some might say a clean, mean killing machine. Should be fun. AH. Movable factory standard part SUD Steeper was successful. Delivery of combat modified replacement part Acid Steeper has been delayed. Progress setback is estimated now to be a solid 3 months. Not like I have more pressing matters to attend to, but I do. Third, I'm giving up hope on the delivery. The part is lost in transit. It's not turning up anytime soon. But good news, I heard from a fellow who knows a gal who knows the broker, who overcharged me for the information regarding the location of an acid steeper I could filch. Part was sent to an old storage facility in Roseway. I sure never thought I'd go back to that pit. Good thing Anti abandoned it years ago. I'll pick it up following this next pit stop back to Admiral Vale. Wells wants me to chaperone some person of interest. Details to come later. Well, that didn't work out for you, but okay. Alright. Well, everybody, we got some good things. Alright. Choir. Bragged about a powerful weapon. Okay. Well, shrinking sapphire wire. Alright. Well, provided we're gonna do your thing first. Alright?
Sometimes I wonder about Mr. Hawthorne. What was he like? Why'd he make the computer a talkie? You think he got lonely, flying about on his own?
Hello?
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by. Don't mind the heat. Got a few days before it reaches critical. I'm sure Miss Chief Tennyson will get it sorted before then. Still reviewing your manifest. Why not head on over to the promenade? Lots to keep you occupied there.
Okay, something tells me, you two, that this thing's gonna get impounded. Don't ask me how I know, but I have a real good feeling. Things are gonna get all cattywampus up in here.
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts?
I'd like to know something about those I'm flying with. What's your story?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
Violently enthusiastic disposition.
That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town, much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them.
Were they not religious?
On the contrary. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
You wanted to make your parents proud. You thought you were an outcast. Weren't they proud when you became a vicar at least?
They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me.
This plan of yours sounds like a convenient way to control the masses.
It can be if abused, but that can be said about anything. However, in the case of the board and Halcyon, sadly, I believe you are correct.
You're a wise guy, Vicar. And I don't mean a wise guy, I mean you have wisdom. I truly believe that. I believe that the underlying philosophy is a good one. Yeah, you're right. Seems quite trusting you to sign up without knowing anything about me.
I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated.
I hate to bring this up there, Max, but what if this book doesn't have the answers you're looking for?
I honestly don't know what I'd do. This quest has consumed me for the better part of my life. I fear there's nothing else left to me. What about you? What's your story?
I love a good adventure story.
That's not... Let's try this again. Who are you? Where are you from?
I don't want to talk about it. But...
You were the one who started this conversation.
Yeah. Tell me again about the book we picked up that's in French.
Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
Remind me, what are your thoughts on the philosophists again?
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
I believe that's, like I said, so the philosophists are the testatology, and your plan is more of a deontology, where everything's got a moral compass and there are certain procedures, whether it's social standards or religion, of what is morally right and wrong, where they believe that you can't determine the morality of such actions until you see the consequences of said actions. Kind of siding with them there, Vic. Let's talk about this personal quest of yours.
Yes, well, now that we're here, can we check in with security? I'd like to track down that scholar.
That's the plan.
Are we gonna get in trouble today? Not that I want to, just seems to happen around you, is all.
Hey, yeah. Oof.
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
It's appropriate.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. I need a drink.
Excuse
Just
me.
arrived? Head over to Customs. Wheeler needs to process you.
who were you?
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
Well, I noticed you were in the middle of an argument just now.
Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs.
I heard you knock someone out with a tossball stick.
The guy insulted my Rizzo's Rangers, all right? You can't just insult my Rangers and expect to get away with it. So, of course, I decked him with a tossball stick. I mean, what am I? Some kind of fair-weather fan?
Rizzo's Rangers?
Only the finest group of tossball players ever to take the field.
Oh, good
He's a
Lord.
Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
Oh, boy.
Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation.
You're just lucky you're not serving a sentence.
You know something? I am lucky. I ought to raise a glass of 0G to my fortune, if I had the bits. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
Why do you ask?
Oh, just musing is all. Must be nice having the run of the colony. Never being anchored to one place, always chasing some horizon. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
I never caught your name. I'm Dent Fleegman.
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
See you around, Felix.
See you around, boss.
Boss, huh? Let's see what his buddy says about it. Yeah, excuse me.
Do you mind? I'm trying to file a report.
What? What kind of walking was that? Howdy.
Gonna head to Vera's for whiskey and darts. Maybe not in that order.
Yeah, I think you better do the darts first. Hello?
Mechanicals all over, but they still got us sweating to move boxes.
Everyone's gotta have some kind of job, right? Why is everybody just staring at walls? Hello?
We move cargo 16 hours a day, and half of us still can't afford a bed.
Oh. That really does stink.
Gonna head to Vera's for whiskey and darts.
You learn to keep your eyes to yourself in my job. Nobody wants you looking close at their cargo.
That's true. So don't look close at mine. Ooh, there's another ship over there. Damn it. All right. Customs, huh? Oh. Hello.
Move along.
Well, hello, Phineas. Wait a minute here. McReed? Wanted dead or alive, Captain Gunnar McReed for several counts of public intoxication, destruction of groundbreaker property, unpaid docking fees, and resisting arrest. Contact Commandant Sanita if you have any information concerning McReed's whereabouts. Failure to report a tip may result in imprisonment and a fine. Proof of kill required to collect reward.
Customs and inspection, right this way!
Alright, so before I go talk to this guy, mind attributes. Use some of that. You, a little hammered. Ah, Wheeler.
Identification, please.
Here you go.
Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Oh, shush
Now,
you.
hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
How do I get this resolved?
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford,
I
our
knew
board
it.
representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
I take it this happens a lot.
Just the opposite. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations here.
Surely this must be some sort of mix-up.
They must have a real big bee in their bonnets, then. Everyone knows you don't trifle with Groundbreaker if you want to get your goods on time.
If I had to take a guess as to why, you probably riled up the wrong petty board bureaucrat. A man named Udom Bedford.
I'll talk to him, straighten this out.
You take the starch out of him, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor?
You impound my ship and you want a favor from me? My goodness, you are so highfalutin right here. Sure.
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Her shipment?
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
Got it.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I'm looking for someone named Gladys.
The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
Ah, so everybody knows she's a fence, but they don't really care much. Okay. You can give a lick about it. All right. I'm looking for a drink. Any recommendations where I can tie one on?
Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right.
Got it.
You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony.
Then impound ships. Can I find a job around here?
Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. Two biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
I can't get off station. How does Halcyon Holdings work anyway?
Are you pulling my leg?
I just want to hear your take on it.
Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the board.
How does the Groundbreaker fit into that?
Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are.
It's got to be a lot of ethical, like, inbreeding around here. You can't have that many, could you? So, they run most of the system, right?
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year.
So this place is kind of dying. So there's actually a boardroom somewhere with all these company heads in it?
Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself. Glad to help.
I didn't think there were many independent operators in the system.
Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either.
What about sublight salvage?
They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them.
Okay. So what if I'm looking for a little something more local?
Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
Oh, Provardi, you... you awesome. You're awesome. How about something long-term?
If you're thinking to make a career here, don't waste your time. Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying about, like, the breeding system around here. That's all I
right.
need to know about work. What can you tell me about Udom Bedford?
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison.
So there's tension between Groundbreaker and the board, huh?
They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
Yet your station's in a state of disrepair. You could make the board fix it.
You mean the heat? Sure, we could make them fix it. But what would they do in retaliation? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we may do all right. So far, anyway. Sure
Thanks
thing.
for that. I'll see you around, Wheeler.
Be seeing you.
It was nice talking to you. Okay, so we learned a lot from him. We did. We learned a lot from him. Okay. You didn't mean exactly behind him.
Move along.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
On Monarch, it's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Who told you that? Graham?
Asshole.
That was a witty retort. Oh. Okay. Hello?
Hi there. Haven't seen you around before. What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today?
Get my bearings. What do you do here?
This is the security desk, sir. If you're here to report a crime, you'll want to talk to Commandant Sanita. I'm not authorized to take incident reports anymore.
Why can't you take incident reports?
I'm not so good at filing. Mix up first name and surname 1, 2, 7 times. Well, folks are liable to start taking your filing privileges away.
Don't you do, I don't know, tours or something?
We can't just let anyone walk in here. I wouldn't be, well, it's not... we just don't. Okay. Maybe if you clear an open bounty and get in good with Commandant Sanita, Or help Chief Tennyson fix this heat? That might warrant a thank you tour or something.
Any chance you change your mind?
Well, let me think about it for a minute. No?
You don't sound awfully sure of that.
We got a lot of rules to follow. Hard to remember them all sometimes.
I'd really like to get back there.
Yeah, I'm getting that, but this area's off limits. I told you.
Listen, Lee, we just met, but I feel a connection to you. You know? Like, we could play toss ball and darts and drink whiskey together. Do me a favor, I'll owe you one.
All right, I guess. In and out, though. Just try not to do any shady stuff. I'd like to keep my job.
All right, Max. Where is it?
There it is. Just yank the drive, and I'll do the rest.
All right, okay. Confiscated goods. Hold on. Obtained a freelancer who was cagey about his business, confiscated his personal belongings while he waited for questioning. Modified pistol, jock, hatchet, metal loop, prayer beads, OSI, lock container, owner refused inspection. Flew before he could get down to it. Left his things behind, so they're stored in the back of the security station. The idiot shows his face again, which is like to be never. Security logs. Sublight put a bid on one of our impounds. Generous one too. Negotiate for the usual finder fees and give Lilia her salvage. Okay. Lilia, from Sublight. Okay. Brawl at the last hope. Freelancers versus board. Freelancers won. Arrested a freighter captain with more bits than brains. Hawthorne ship impounded by order Udom Bedford. Still no clue why Hawthorne associates with that board snake. A guy from the back bay has roughed up the Moon Kid. Moon Kid. Raven Mad warned me that the moon was going to bring about the end times. He was flying high on whatever McReed grows down there. McReed, the wanted poster. He grows something down there that's hallucinogenic. Okay. Got a sworn testimony that McReed was spotted at the rest and go. Not that anyone will corroborate it. Remember to keep an eye on Gladys.
Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up.
Okay.
Got it. His name is Reginald Cheney, and he joined a Sublight salvage crew. Only he's not listed on the return manifest. Must have made landfall somewhere he wasn't supposed to. Ah, yes. Here. There's a domicile on Monarch in Fallbrook, rented to the same bit card he used to buy his seat on the salvage ship. I should have guessed. What better place to lay low if you wish to avoid the authorities?
You hesitated there, Vicar. What aren't you telling me?
Oh, it's nothing. I suppose I really didn't have much faith in actually finding him. Was a bit of a long shot, wasn't it?
This seems awfully convenient. And you said Cha. You knew his name. But you said Cha instead of Cheney. Okay.
I admit it was a bit of a long shot, but when you've spent as many hours as I have in contemplation of the universe's secrets, you sometimes get a sense for these things.
Sense, huh? Yeah, sounds good. What do you think, Pavardi?
Something you need?
Yeah. Did you just fart? You better not fart in here. Good Lord, he's letting us in on a pass. Okay, hey.
I don't have time for this.
All right. Steel hoop. Shh. ID cartridge you use when used with the holographic shroud, you would now be automatically disguised while entering the associate. Okay. Alright, so... what do we got here? Plasma rifle. Level 6. We already got one. Machine gun. Oh. Alright. Don't be crabby, kid savvy. Okay, range. Nope, don't need that. Personality, no. Ah.
Dang, that's impressive.
I think I got one of them. Or I had one of them. No, I already got one of them.
Hey.
Hello.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time nor loitering.
What's it like working security detail on a space station?
Do I look like your gossipy best friend? While I'm on post, I take my duties real serious. I would have no qualms whatsoever escorting you to a cell. Understand?
Fine.
Then get to business or get moving.
Alright. What's a Mardet?
We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. Started back before the crossing, you know.
Why Mardet and not guard or officer?
The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from the 77th Marine Expeditionary Unit, Trailward Fleet.
Gotcha.
Folks started calling us Mardets because it was easier to say. Guess it stuck.
So, the McCreed bounty, where can I find him?
Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? Do the legwork.
Why don't you send a Mardet to apprehend him?
Oh, I will. Soon as the chief approves the personnel reorg required for a bounty dispatch. So, in about 3 to 7 weeks.
Bureaucracy and its red tape, okay. Couldn't help but notice the bounty posted on Phineas Wells.
The outlaw scientist fella, right. The board's had it out for him for ages. If you have an inkling of the wheres or what fors of his location, Udon Bedford would surely like to hear it.
Is he a famous criminal or something?
To the board, yeah. You've read his wanted poster. Whole list of things to get their unders in a wad. But he's never done nothing to Groundbreaker, so I've no problem with him. We keep the poster up to keep the peace is all.
Alright. Tell me about that bounty in McCree
Last
again.
tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? Do the legwork.
I'll take
You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head, or his lucky lighter, as proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck and skip speed to you.
What bounties do you have available?
Still waiting to hear back on that bounty for McRed. That aside,
McRed.
not much else. Groundbreaker's keeping calm at the moment.
Alright. Thank you, buddy.
What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today?
I could use some work. Any pointers?
Chief Tennyson don't generally hire outsiders for station jobs, but you could try asking at Sublight Salvage. They got an office on the far end of the promenade deck. Anything else I can help you with, mister?
So, where Chief Tennyson?
Chief Junlei Tennyson. She runs the ship. Does a real great job of it, too. Her family's worked on it for, gosh, since it was built, I think. Back before the crossing.
What's she like? Is she a good boss?
Good as she can be, I guess. What with all the troubles Groundbreaker's facing. She could stand to lighten up, I suppose. But she tries her best to do right by folks, and that's what matters.
Why'd you want to know that there, Pavardi?
No reason. Don't you trouble yourself over it, Captain.
That was very convincing, miss. I think your captain almost bought it.
Yeah, look at, and this kid is sort of like a screw up, and he knew that. Are you gonna leave? Oh, Pavardi, don't leave me. Don't hassle my crew, kid.
Yes, sir, of course. I'm sorry if I overstepped. Was just having fun is all. Didn't mean anything by it.
So leading the ship the size of Groundbreaker must be a challenge.
Sure is, but she makes it look easy. She's real competent, our chief, even if she ain't real friendly.
Wonderful. What about Sublight Salvage?
They're run by Miss Hagen. Half the tramp captains and contractors in the system have worked for her. I ought to warn you straight off. Scuttlebutt says some of the jobs they do aren't exactly above board. Downright anti-business, if you catch my meaning.
I catch it. But I'll need you to explain that a little bit.
Let's say there's been times when I heard somebody needed a thing, and somebody else had such a thing, but they weren't inclined to sell. Now let's say the one who had the thing suddenly found theirs missing, and the one who needed got one. If anyone asks, Sublight says it got salvaged from an old wreck. Case closed.
So they're criminals, but they have an office on your promenade deck?
If anybody could prove them criminals, the board would have put their foot down a long time past. They always got, what do they call it? Deniability?
Wonderful.
Something gets nicked or someone turns up dead, Sublight says, hey, independent contractor, not our responsibility. But everyone knows what they're doing, top to bottom.
Yeah, they're working against the Halcyon board?
Against is a strong word. Let's say that if you need something the board ain't inclined to sell, you might look to Sublight to get it. You might pay Sublight a shitload of bits for it, but that money gets passed on to their contractors, so in the end, it's still business.
You must admit, there is a beauty to the order of it. Everything operates within the constraints of the grand plan, even organized crime.
People do what they gotta to get by.
That's true.
Oh, sure,
Yeah,
sorry.
That's enough.
Gets a mite boring at this desk, you know. Then I get to chatting too much, and Commandant Sonia's gotta reprimand me again, and... Oops, doing it again. Sorry.
Oh, don't worry. Captain's real understanding.
Can't speak for the captain, but I'm used to listening to folks drone on about their pointless, depressing lives.
Yeah,
Awful
Max,
generous of you, listening to me like this.
I apologize for Max. He's a little pompous. Mind if I ask you some questions?
That's what I'm here for, sir.
Good. I bet you got seized contraband from all those systems locked up back there.
Sure, and stuff from outside the system too, off the interstellar freighters. That's why we also have so many armed Mardettes on duty here.
What if some of that contraband's mine and I'm here to claim it?
That'd be awful weird. On account of you should be locked up back here too then.
Oh, hypothetical. Don't worry about it, Lee. Back to my other
All right.
question. Lots of freighters come through the station, so that must keep
Less
you busy.
than there used to be. Fewer freighters passing through these days. I spend some shifts just listening to the wireless.
Why aren't there many freighters coming through?
Search me. I mean, don't search me, because that's my job. Get it? I reckon you'd have to ask the folks in Byzantium. Less than there used to be. Fewer freighters passing through these days. I spend some shifts just listening to the wireless.
About the wireless. Hear anything good over the comms?
There's been a whole heap of good advertisements lately. Sometimes I tune in just for those.
That's not what I was asking about, but okay, see you around. Thanks, Private Lee. All right. Okay, Max, you got your stuff. Now we have to... I'll be right back. All right. Let's see. Hello.
Huh?
What? What are you doing? You sleeping? Let's see if we talk to these guys. Won't steal if we don't have to. Hey.
Don't look funny at the crew. Or they toss folks out the airlock if they don't like your face.
Oh.
You
Hello.
couldn't pay me to visit Monarch. I'd probably get my face eaten off.
You said something about Graham. Before we head in.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hardworking citizens. This has been Halcyon News, your only source for news in the Halcyon colony.
Politics, Halcyon News, media circus surrounds circus time clowns. Politics of Toast Bowl grown increasingly turbulent of late, with the circus time clowns trading out every single member of the team. Asked to comment on the upheaval, the Owners League released a statement saying the Clowns' failure to reach the finals was a deciding factor in their organizational rearrangement. When questioned about the values of this overhauled team, a representative from the Clowns stated their goals remain the same as ever: toss, ball, win, repeat. Halcyon News Chairman salutes Earth Minister Clark. Chairman Rockwell took time out of his busy schedule today to talk to us about the Minister Clark and his impact on the colony. Working with Mr. Clark has been truly wonderful these past 8 years, he said. His predecessor did a fine job, but Clark's brilliance cannot be overstated. Early retirement program is just the latest in a long line of initiatives he has spearheaded that will ensure Halcyon continues to be the envy of all the outer colonies. We couldn't agree more, Mr. Chairman. Early retirement, huh? Well, I guess that's good for him. Freighter corner? Well, I am not going to steal from these hard-working folks. Purple berry punch, though. Rest and go key card. Rest and go key card. Rest and go. Okay, we got a rest and go key card. Everybody take care now. See what the big deal. Well, let's see what the big deal is here.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Oh my God. What kind of mess did we get ourselves into?
Where are we headed?
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Little else in this colony offers such a relaxing pastime. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening.
Where? Wow.
It just me, or has it been deader than usual around here?
Chief wants to reduce board traffic, give tramp freighters more paths.
Are there enough tramps in Halcyon to make up the difference?
Take another look at that half-empty docking bay and tell me what you think.
Well, we have our work cut out for us. We gotta talk to June Lee. We got your stuff. I feel like our adventure is only beginning.